Welcome to the audio-described version of the Geology episode of the Granite Desk series. Two park rangers, Simone and Sarah Jane, sit at a large, flat, desk-like granite rock with desert vegetation and more rocks behind them. A Chiron bar with a Joshua Tree icon says Granite News Desk.
Hello and welcome to the Granite Desk. I'm Ranger Sarah Jane.
And I'm Ranger Simone, and we're coming to you from Joshua Tree National Park.
Text on screen, Ranger Simone.
One reason why this park is special is its unique landscape.
Two shots of the park landscape with large mounds of rounded granite boulders and Joshua trees.
One of the most common questions people ask is why the rocks look the way they do. Today, we are going to adventure to some unusual rocks and learn why they are shaped the way they are.
Time-lapse of the sun setting behind a Joshua tree. A cottontail rabbit looks towards the camera. A time-lapse of Joshua trees with their shadows moving along a granite rock face. A desert tortoise slowly walks along the ground. Purple lupin flowers wave in the breeze. A time-lapse of the sunset over the park landscape with the words Granite Desk in large block letters and the episode title, Geology, printed smaller. Return to the Rangers at the Granite Desk. Text on screen, Ranger Sarah Jane.
Before we leave to go exploring, let's think about the rocks where you live. Do you see rocks when you go outside? What are they like? Around here, the rocks are very rough. They feel like sandpaper. They're not smooth like rocks I might expect to find near a river or a lake.
Let's meet Ranger KYLIE. She can explain how these rocks got here and why they look like this.
A ranger stands in front of a large rock arch. Text on screen, Ranger KYLIE. This is followed by a wider shot of the arch with a time-lapse with dozens of visitors coming and going.
This feature next to me is called Arch Rock, and I bet you can guess why. This rock sees thousands of visitors each year, all coming to check out its unique shape. It looks this way because of the way the rocks formed a long, long time ago.
An animation shows an orange blob of magma growing and rising through the Earth's crust, fracturing the rock as it moves upward.
Millions of years ago, intense heat and pressure melted rock in the Earth's crust, forming magma. The magma rose upward through the crust, though it never quite reached the surface.
The liquid magma cools within the crust to a body of granite rock. This is followed by a close-up shot of rock in the park today. Then the animation shows the underground granite fracturing.
The molten rock cooled very, very slowly, allowing large crystals to grow over time. These big crystals are why we have such a rough texture of rock here, and you can see the different colors, which are different minerals in the rock. After these rocks cooled and hardened underground, they were under a lot of pressure.
KYLIE demonstrates parallel cracks with her hands. Then the animation shows the fractured granite becoming rounder and rounder, and then the overlying soil eroding away.
They formed parallel cracks, giving arch rock its long and narrow shape. Water flowed along those cracks, rounding out the corners, and eventually the surrounding soil was eroded away, exposing this beautiful feature that we see today. Most of these rocks here in Joshua Tree share the same geologic past, resulting in an endless variety of shapes.
Two shots of large rock piles in the park, with rounded and fractured blobs of granite rock.
Today, wind and water are still at work carving out the arch, just like they're acting on all of Joshua Tree's rock formations. The desert can be a pretty extreme place. Big storms, harsh temperatures, and even plants and animals continue to break down these rocks into smaller and smaller pieces.
Two hands pour sand out of a green sneaker, followed by a shot of rock towers. Then we return to Sarah Jane and Simone at the Granite Desk.
So next time you're hiking in the desert and you get sand in your shoes, remember those tiny little sand grains were once part of a big boulder. This has been Ranger KYLIE for the Granite Desk. Back to you. Wow, thanks Ranger KYLIE. I learned so much about Joshua Tree's rocks. I love how they make so many cool shapes. What do you call a scientist that studies rocks?
The words geo and ology appear as text on screen, then merge together to form the word geologist.
If I break the word down, geo means earth and ology means study of something. Ranger KYLIE studies the earth and its rock formations, so she is a geologist.
There are lots of other types of scientists that study things that are related to the earth. Like a paleontologist studies fossils that are found in the ground, an ecologist studies how living things interact. If you were a scientist, what would you want to study?
Thanks again for joining us on another Granite Desk adventure.
What will we explore next?
The two rangers smile and wave goodbye. Text on screen, video by Perry Sassnet, production assistant Alessandra Puig-Santana, additional footage by Christy Rugg, Hannah Schwalbe, Glauco Puig-Santana, Leon Law, Shay Spatz, Casey Kiernan, graphics by Alessandra Puig-Santana. Text on screen. Joshua Tree National Park acknowledges the Cahuilla, Chemehuevi, Serrano, and Mojave people as the original stewards of the land on which the park now sits. We are grateful to have the opportunity to work with the indigenous people in this place. We pay our respect to the indigenous people, past, present, and emerging, who have been here since time immemorial. The NPS Arrowhead logo on a black background.